Hi everyone, this is Lise. I am the game director and project manager over at Megapop.
Hey everyone, it's me, Siv, and I'm the UI programmer at Megapop and Life Below. So today we're very excited to show you the Life Below demo. We're gonna do a playthrough of it.
Yeah,
Very excited.
yeah.
So let's just jump right into it. We're gonna call on campaign Megapop.
Yeah.
We're just gonna watch the incredible video.
I usually don't even name my campaigns.
No, you just click start immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. We have played this a bunch of times at this point. Oh, I love how it goes from... Oh no! The turtle! It like goes from all full of life and then seamlessly transitions into this sadness.
Yeah, and then back to hope again.
There's hope in the ocean. Who's that? I wonder who that is. And now all the workers come. Water spirits.
Water sprites.
Oh, the water sprites.
Yeah.
Can't even get the terminology right. I've been working on this game for a long time now.
Yeah. But they do work though.
They do
They're
work.
very good at working.
They do work.
Yeah. Gorgeous. I've loved that video since we first started working on it.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like it was a really good thing to bring everyone together around the concept. We got that one.
Definitely. And also this narrative moment here.
Yeah. I've been having to call it narrative scene externally.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a cool narrative scene where we get introduced to our new characters.
Yeah.
So basically in this narrative scene, we are just being introduced to this mystery character in the Reef heart here. And Thalassa is very surprised and feels strange to not be a water sprite anymore.
Yeah.
She has been promoted to Guardian, which is very oh, and here comes the water sprite.
Yeah. The Reef Guardian. You.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm so excited to get into this. Yeah, so this mystery character is just telling us that we've gotten some water sprites to help us on our journey. And we're just reminiscing about our old days as a water sprite ourselves. All in this together.
Oh, the music is so nice too.
Oh, I
In those
love
moments.
the music. I've been just listening to it while I work, actually.
Yeah.
So now we know that this mystery character is in fact Gaia, which is kind of the personification of nature and Earth. So we've been given the task of creating new life under the ocean. So here we are in Life Below, and we have our first task here, which is to reclaim some coral matter and pearls. And we can do that with the reclaim action. So I'm just going to open the sprite action menu and select reclaim, which has a neat little shortcut with Shift F, which is I'm very proud of adding that. So a lot of actions in the game have tooltips, and they will show you the shortcut.
Yeah. It's actually really handy. Even for us internally.
Exactly. All right. So we can also speed up the game. We have various different time controls. We can pause the game if we feel overwhelmed. We can also speed up time if we're very impatient. And I think it's really handy to have that, just because sometimes even I get overwhelmed in this game. Oh, and look, we get to see more of the world.
Wow, the world is larger.
The world is larger.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have some more resource nodes over here, so we can also click on them and click collect directly instead of just using the action. But as you saw earlier, we can also use Shift F, then we are immediately in the reclaim action. We can just click and drag everything we want to remove.
That's really fun that you do them first, like reclaim them first. I always leave them until after I replaced my structures.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because then I feel like they get started on that progress first.
That's a clever way of doing it. I also tend to just reclaim this clam here, but it is a part of the demo and the tutorial, so I'll leave it alone. It gets to live for now. So our first task is to give energy to all the structures. One structure remaining, that is this over here. This is a clam. It makes pearls, like clams do. But it doesn't have energy right now. Not only doesn't it have energy, but it's not in the energy radius. What does that mean? Well, let's see. We have 3 structures here. We have the sprout coral, which produces coral matter. We have the clam, which we explained earlier, and then we have the moon coral, which produces the energy. So the fun thing when you select a moon coral is, what do we see here, Lisa?
We are seeing the energy network.
Yes.
So you can use the moon corals to expand your network and bring them together if you make them like the circles touch each other, I guess, is a way of explaining it. But you also can make like individual networks if you don't make the circle, like going to the other circle. Yes.
In some of the future zones of the game, you won't be able to connect to your network, so you have to make separate networks. And they also have their own production as well. So let's see. We gave power to that. What's next? We need to harvest some coral matter and make some more pearls. Well, we have this powered, so we're going to get a few more pearls here. There we go. The water sprite is collecting it. So, when it comes to coral matter, you can't just place them anywhere, like the clam here. You have to place them on these resource nodes here. And they will flash just to tell you that, hey, this is where you can place them.
Hello, hello.
And also, of course, the tooltip, which we're very proud of, that the ghost turns red or yellow, depending on there's a warning. Like right now, it's warning us that, hey, you're not in an energy network.
Yeah.
This won't work. But we're going to deal with that after. So we're just going to place these 2 here immediately.
Invest in those materials.
Yes. And then we're immediately going to power them. And let's say, I want the power to come on first, but I built these 2 first. Well, the cool thing about that is that you can click a construction site. And you can click priority to prioritize it. So now the water sprites will try to build that first. Here we go.
I always tend to immediately, when I get into this stage, to just place moon corals everywhere after I've first made sure I have the basics, like your materials and your pearls being produced, and just placing moon corals everywhere to make sure my network covers the whole space and I don't have any restrictions later.
Yeah, exactly. I also like just trying to cover all bases kind of immediately, but also conserve my resources at the same time. There is actually a secret sprout node over here, which is kind of hidden.
Yeah, you can see it better if you use the...
Yeah, we can rotate the camera, which is lovely. But it seems like Gaia wants to introduce us to someone. I wonder who that is. So here, Gaia is just congratulating us on the progress so far, but...
Thanks, Gaia!
Thanks, Gaia! But we do need a little more assistance, because Gaia won't be here forever. Yeah, we all need guidance time to time. I think that applies to everyone, really. Oh my gosh, who's this?
I love the little thing that he does with his mustache.
Yes, he twitches his mustache. This is Pontis, former Reef Guardian. So we're the current Reef Guardian. He was a previous one. Interesting.
Just needs a fresh start.
One of my favorite characters in this game is actually Pontis, just because of the sass and kind of grumpiness of him.
Yeah.
But it's very endearing as well. I think Rihanna Pratchett did a very good job writing the characters of this game.
For sure. Like, I feel like all the characters are like really individually strong.
Exactly.
And also like really good, like brought together. So it feels good. Feels really nice.
This is also one of my favorite quips from Pontis, that he's telling us our tentacles are dirty and to respect the big great ocean. But Pontis, we just got our tentacles, okay? We're getting used to them. Yeah, Pontis, we get it. Yes, let's get started. So we have a lost spirit over here, which is a very cool mechanic, where they're kind of like mini quests that give you a cool reward.
Yeah, like spirits from, you know, reefs past, or things that have happened in the ocean, or like little like bits of story that are not necessarily like from the reef that you're currently building, but maybe from the past. Or it's just a fun but also cool mechanic, I think.
Yeah, I also think so. So this is the lost spirit who's looking for a shiny thing, and they're blaming us apparently. But this seems to be the lost spirit of a decorator crab. Decorator crabs, they love decorating. It's in the name, really.
Yeah.
So the quest here is that the lost spirit wants shiny things, so we're gonna give them some pearls.
I always imagine that it's inspired by the Vaiana decorator crab.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So every time I see the lost spirit, I think of that song, Shiny.
That is a very banger song, not gonna lie. Alright, so we're just about done here. Shiny things! This is so kind of you. Thank you. Yeah, so we're gonna bring the lost spirit to the reef heart and kind of incorporate its spirit into our new reef. And that will give us some newfound power. Ta-da-da-da! It's gonna give us the growth coral and the brain coral. So what's really neat about the brain coral and the growth coral is that it's Life Below's way of handling research in a way. So first we have to make the brain coral, which will produce the growth essence, which is the resource you use to conduct growth. So we're just gonna build. I always like to build 2.
Yeah.
Because you always need like kind of a big chunk of them. The tooltip is warning us that we have low pearls right now. But that's fine. We'll get them in due time.
Yeah, I always build 4. I just always try to get as many resources as possible.
Okay. I just get scared of the secondary effects, which is a really neat mechanic in the game that you'll encounter at some point or have to deal with. That is, these moon corals and brain corals, they actually slowly increase the temperature of your zone. Same with the clam, it decreases the temperature. So we're really trying to discourage you from building too much of one thing, because then it becomes very monocultured, and we want you to create a very biodiverse reef. So you want to keep it in balance, but there will be tools later to handle these water parameters. So we've built our brain corals. We're just going to build the growth coral now, which is the actual building that lets us use the growth essence to unlock new growths.
I'm really happy that we got the brain coral to be what produces stuff you need for growth.
It's so perfect, though.
Yeah. I think it's actually the brain coral. Yeah, it's the brain coral that inspired like how we look at like what species of coral and sponge to use for the different structures. Like when we looked at, okay, but we need this kind of thing, then what kind of coral makes sense? I was like, obviously the brain coral.
Yeah, obviously the brain coral has to make the think juice.
Yeah, the think juice.
And that's what I really like about all the structures in the game, or all the corals, is that they're based on actual coral or marine life.
Yeah.
In real life, but they're also magical in a sense.
So the brain coral is like very classic brain coral, obviously, like based on that species, that's very the classic brain coral. But the growth coral is actually also based on a species that is in the same family. It is a brain coral. It's just an open brain coral.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't actually know that.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, there's so much to like delve into here, really. Okay, our next goal is to unlock the crafter growth, and then to build the crafter. So let's open the growth menu here, which is a very nice, what people have been calling a tech tree, but we like to call it the growth tree.
Because you're growing your
Yes.
growing solutions.
So we're gonna use some of our knowledge to unlock the crafter growth. So we're just gonna start that immediately. And then on the right hand side here, we get a notification about the current growth that we're conducting. It doesn't have enough growth essence, so all the water sprites are carrying it. Then, oh, we don't have enough pearls. Well, we do only have one clam here.
Yeah.
So maybe we should expand that.
Need to get those numbers up.
We need to get them up. So let's just build a few around here. I just like to space things out a little bit, and not just build them in one place, because I want it to look very diverse and very pretty.
I always like put them together, so they're like a group that's like growing out. Like I feel like there's like, this is the start clam, and then like it grows and expands and becomes more when I build more.
I also really like to put like the brain coral and the clams close to the reef art, because then there's a shorter distance for the water sprites to carry the resource generated from it to the storage, which is the reef art.
Yeah. Oh, that's really clever. I always tend to like pick almost like a line out from the reef heart, and then like this resource goes around this line and like expands from there, because when we get later into the game, spoilers, that could be important.
Yes, exactly. Okay, seems that we completed the growth here, so let's build it. Let's build a crafter. We can build it up here. I also like to put it close to the storage, but alas, we have not been keeping up with our pearl demands here. So hopefully we'll get that up soon, because now we have 2 clams. There's one more on the way. Something I also really like is the filters up here. You can turn on the energy fields permanently if you want them to always be visible, which is the way I like to play. Doesn't look as pretty, but I always like to see and kind of plan while I'm just looking around, not necessarily just when I'm building.
Yeah.
Oh, it seems we're full of growth essence up here, which is always kind of good. Here we go. Now we get the crafter. I wonder what we're gonna do with a coral called a crafter. Let's see here. First, though, we need to unlock the soul well growth, which is kind of the way I really like to play the game. I like to build soul wells and expand that as much as possible. More on that, what exactly that does, but it has to do something with these pools here.
Yeah. They're inspired by underwater brine pools.
Yes.
So they do exist in a way underwater. We had to magicify it a bit.
Yes.
But they do exist. Like really briny pools.
Pools under the ocean. Who would have thought? Okay. So now we just need to build one. But we still need to expand our energy network. So I'm just going to do that right over here. Then we're going to build a soul well on top of it. Whoops. Now we have a lot of pearls. We're almost full, actually. There we go.
Yeah, I really like that structure, the soul well structure.
It's just behind some grass right now. Let's get a better look at it.
Yeah. Like I like that it's the blue magic kind of feel to it.
It's almost like mana, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see. Craft a sprite essence. So we get a little tutorial here telling us that these soul wells give us sprite souls that can be used at the crafter structure to be crafted into sprite essence. Now I wonder what a sprite essence does. So we can also click and open the crafting here, but I always really like to just press C to open it immediately. And here we have the crafting menu. So let's see here. The sprite essence. These egg-light items are known as sprite essence. They are a small essence of a water sprite. Water sprites will bring it from the crafter to the reef art to hatch, spawning a new water sprite.
Yay!
So this is how you kind of expand your workforce here. You may have noticed up here we have 4 out of 6 when we previously just have 4 out of 4. So I'm just going to queue both of them immediately. Even though we only have 1 crafter, so we only have 1 active crafting slot, we can still queue them up. And I also just really like making more crafters, so I can just craft multiple things simultaneously instead of waiting for the queue. We get a message from Pontis. Oh, he's complaining about how lifeless it all feels. What do we need to do? Well, we're gonna add some fauna. And we need to do that by luring them, because they just won't come by themselves.
Yeah, we spent enough time without fauna. We need to get some cool fishies.
Right, so to do that we need to craft some lures. And some of this grass has been popping up. Do you want to talk about what the grass is?
Yeah, so the grass is like your building materials for the crafter, I guess. Like it's the stuff you need to make the stuff. They grow depending on how much you've placed in your zone. So you need to actually build in your zone to get more grass.
Yeah. What I also really like about the different grass is that there's different types of grass in different types of zones.
Yeah.
And each type of grass will create a unique kind of lure that gives you unique fauna for each lure. So we harvested some. I just used the harvest action to just kind of harvest a bunch at once. So.
Oh, but you mustn't forget to actually make their house.
That's important.
Yeah.
You can't have fish in your reef without somewhere for them to live. But we don't have any habitats yet.
Yeah, so we need to research some habitats.
Yes, we do. So what we're going to do here is we're going to... I always struggle saying this. Anemone and the algae coral. And the anemone is the clownfish house. And the algae coral is... I think one of the more unique game mechanics of the game. It's food, but it's not food that is made and then stored somewhere. Algae is a balance you have to keep up. You have to have enough for the fish to eat, but if you make too much, the algae will take over and it will start to damage your reef.
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of the balancing acts of the natural system, I guess.
Speaking of balancing, we can actually open what we call the zone fold out here. Up here we can see kind of the brief status of the current zone we are in, but we can click this little arrow to see more details. And here we can see the algae bar.
Yeah.
So we're currently kind of in the yellow zone here. It's also showing up here. So you really want to try to keep this in the green zone. If you get over to the red zone, it starts to get dangerous. Like here your wildlife can starve, or over here there's the aforementioned algae bloom.
Yeah. Also some spoilers of things to come in there.
Really? Like what?
Like the special food.
Special food! Yeah, because not every wildlife in the ocean eats algae. Even though we've had to implement some magical realism to kind of simplify the ocean wildlife a bit, we try to keep it as realistically as possible while keeping the game fun.
Yeah, it is definitely a game, but we also want to use what we can, of course.
So I'm just going to build a few algae up here in the house. So this will kind of be the clownfish district. Let's see. There we go. So, now we're ready. Let's craft some seagrass lures. I'm just gonna queue up a few, just so we have some lying around. And I might as well craft a new crafter? I mean, construct a new crafter. Just so we have more crafting slots.
Yeah, I don't usually make another one until I'm quite a bit further into the game. At this point, I usually try to get as much habitat as possible to get as many fish as possible.
Yes, because the more fish you have, the better, and it helps you expand, and we'll get to that. Oh no! We don't have enough energy for this crafter.
Haven't kept up with your energy?
No. So we can either build one in here to kind of just increase the amount, but we can also increase our range at the same time. So let's just do that. And since we're kind of at the cusp, well, I'll just add another one over here. Let's close this fallout now. So we've harvested the seagrass, we've crafted the lure, and now we need to place one. Let's go into our lure storage here with the shortcut L, or you can just click it. And we see that we can get a 10 fish/wildlife and 100% question mark.
What?
Let's see what we get. So we got to a new quest here. And this is the part that kind of explains why having more and more wildlife is good for you. So we have this concept called biodiversity, which is kind of a point system that shows you how diverse your reef is currently. And you use biodiversity to either expand into new territory or conducting new types of growth. The idea behind that is that basically the new fish that come into your reef, kind of you observe their behavior and you learn from them to create more growth. That's kind of the idea, and I really like that concept.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see, can we spot some fishies? Here we go. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I love them.
I think that's my favorite reaction to people playing this game for the first time, is them luring wildlife for the first time and them seeing the fish. They always go, oh my gosh, there they are.
I actually really love the reaction to like the biodiversity thing in general, because it's such a nice way of, or at least our attempt is to have a nice way of like introducing that you really do need biodiversity in real life and in this game, and that you get less biodiversity by just keeping on with the same species the whole time.
Yes.
So like that's a reaction of like, oh cool, then let's find something more, let's find something new, let's add, let's make it more diverse. It's really fun.
But Pontis is now telling us that it's getting a bit cramped in here. So he's basically telling us that we need to expand into new territory, which is really exciting because it allows me to talk about the different kinds of zones we have in the game. But, oh, something's happening. There's rising temperature in the water. And that is also one of my favorite Pontis moments. I kind of skipped over it there, but he's saying, don't you smell the sulfur in the water? And we're just kind of whipping back with, I thought the smell was you. And then he's kind of grumpy about us. Total devastation.
I feel like he deserves it after the tentacle thing, though.
Yeah, he does. We have no chill corals.
No chill.
We got no chill, so let's chill this place up. So, since we're gonna go into dangerous territory here, let's pause the game and assess our situation. So, chill corals. It doesn't seem like we have that. And where do we go when we need new kinds of corals?
Well, we need to go to the growth menu.
Yes, we do. So we can see that the chill coral is up here, but it's kind of grayed out. We can't really interact with it. We need to conduct the storage coral growth before we can get to it. So I think we're going to struggle a little bit because the heat is going to rise while we're doing or conducting growth. So let's just get that started. Thankfully, we have stockpiled a few resources here, so I think we're gonna be okay.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be alright.
And afterwards, we'll talk about the storage coral, because I think it's one of the most underrated corals in the game, actually. There's cool strategies you can do with it. Okay, so we actually completed it really quickly because we were speeding up the game.
Speed up the game, and also because we had stockpiled resources. We had been investing in our resources and getting more, so we were in a good spot.
Yes. This actually gives me a cool opportunity to talk about one of our accessibility features, which you can find in our game settings here. And that is pause on critical events, which will basically automatically pause time for you if you get a notification telling you that something bad is happening to your reef and you need to react.
Yeah.
It just kind of eases off stress a little bit for those who need it. So I just really want to demonstrate it right now. So we're going to go do that. Because the heat wave is going to happen quite soon. But let's start our chill coral growth right now.
Yeah, and that one needs biodiversity. So if you didn't have your clownfish, then you wouldn't have been able to start.
Yes, exactly. I can actually show that in here. Yeah, it says requires 1 biodiversity. So the thing about biodiversity is it isn't really a resource like a pearl. It is kind of like a value that you assign to something. So you do kind of spend it, but not in a very traditional sense. So let's see here. Let's speed it up here. Yeah, we got a lot of resources, so we're gonna be okay.
Yeah, I think we'll actually be fine.
Yeah, the temperature hasn't started rising just yet, but it's going to. Oh!
There we go.
There we go. So we saw that we got the notification here that the water temperature in Shoreline Gulf is rising, and the game paused for us because it realized that it was a critical moment. So we'll thank the game for doing that, and we'll be on our merry way. So that lets us build the chill coral. Oh, it's still going. Oh no.
Oh no.
So let's speed it up here. It's almost done. Oh, it paused for us again because it realized that the temperature is now in the red area. So we need to, our temperature needs to be between 23 and 29 degrees Celsius here.
Yeah, so if you're not careful, you're going to start taking some damage.
Yes.
Stressing out your corals.
So let's see. Ooh, I just wanted to check real quick if we have enough energy for these chill corals, but it doesn't seem like we do. So let's just add some precautions here and then build our chill corals. I usually build 3, but let's just build 2 and see what happens.
Yeah, I'll usually build at least 3 because, again, since I built so many of the other corals, I need to kind of counteract my own buildings before I even get to the heat wave.
So we can see here that our corals are slowly taking damage. Oh no. We can see that the comfort and the health up here is like going down and reacting to bad stuff happening.
Yeah.
So let's hope we get these in time. I think we're gonna make it.
Yeah, I think so.
Ooh, it's building. We got 1, but it's not enough. Ah, there we go. We got 2. Not bad, not bad, says Pontis. He always knew we'd be able to do it, even though he doubted us earlier. Thank you, Pontis.
If you say so, Pontis. Alright.
So, there's something I really want to talk about in regards to the chill corals. But first, Pontis wants us to venture forth again, right, like he said before the heat wave. And that is, if I build another chill coral here, we'll see a kind of cool feature that we have in regards to the way these kind of water parameter structures work. And that is, they have something called a smart modifier. Because you might not want these chill corals here to bring your temperature to freezing. That would be bad. But as you can see here, it has like this shield with some sparkles. And that is a feature we call smart disabled. which is basically since the game is detecting that we're already in like the safe zone in regards of temperature, it doesn't need to be enabled, so it kind of automatically disables itself, which is what the tooltip here explains, as well as this one. So this is the smart temperature modifier, and there's other water parameters buildings that are also smart. So you don't need to worry about building too many shell corals, because it will never bring you into dangerous levels.
But they do take up space, though.
They do.
And that I find bothersome since I like to build so much.
But
so
they're so pretty.
They are very pretty, so guts to have them.
So since our reef is damaged here, let's restore them. You can restore them by clicking them individually and clicking restore, but you can also use the sprite action with the Shift R or in the menu, and you can click and drag over basically everything, or just click them individually if that's what you prefer. What I do really like about the game so far, which is in the demo, is that you can play the entire game with just your mouse, which is a very cool accessibility feature. And we have a lot more accessibility features planned that we hope everyone can, so that everyone can play the game if they want to.
As many as possible.
Yes, as many as possible. So the heat wave is still going for another 20 minutes here. So it's good that we have these chill corals in place. But let's continue on with our expansion.
Yeah.
So we need to get into this area. This is the Cliff Lagoon, which is a rocky zone, which is a new kind of biome.
Yeah.
So first we need to research the tier 1 zones, which allows us to actually expand.
Yeah. But you also have the other water parameter structures in here.
Yes.
Depending on kind of how you have balanced your reef as well. If you're like me and have built a lot, then perhaps you might need the acid or the alkaline coral early in order to kind of balance out the other things that you've built. So those are really handy to just get researched and placed down.
Yes. It's just like the secondary effects we mentioned earlier, that they slowly rise or decrease the temperature or the pH levels. But the chill corals and the acid and alkaline corals can help with that. So I usually like to research the alkaline coral before anything else, but we're currently doing the tier 1 zones, so let's just leave this alone. But you basically have the chill coral and its kind of sibling heat coral, and the same with the acid and alkaline. Let's see. So to really buy this zone, we need the growth, of course, but we also need 5 biodiversity.
Yeah.
And we only have 4.
1 away.
And I think we're gonna spend another one right now after we're done with this growth, because it also costs the biodiversity to do.
So actually we need 2.
Yes. So unfortunately in this zone, the only thing we can really lure are clownfish, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna build some more housing here.
You also need some more food.
Yes, I do. The levels are yellow here. I can just quick look at that. And I should maybe think about my power too. Let's see. Let's build a few more of those as well.
Look at the clownfish.
No. But yes, this gives me the opportunity to kind of talk about the storage coral that we kind of skimmed over earlier, which increases the total capacity of resources you can have. So we have a limit of 50 pearls, but it will increase it by, I believe, another 50. But it has kind of a secret feature, and that is that it acts as a pickup and drop-off point. So if I build a storage coral way over here, and a water sprite places a pearl here, and water sprite can pull the same pearl out from here, so it's like kind of teleportation. It's global storage. So when we do expand into this new zone, what I'd really like to do is build a storage coral kind of in the center of it to create a new kind of reef heart.
Yeah.
So do we have new housing now? We do, I think. I think we can afford to place another seagrass lure. Let's place 2, just to be safe. We're gonna get some new clownfish. Like, even though we have just a lot of clownfish, it is gonna increase our biodiversity, but it's just if you get different species, the biodiversity increases like more dramatically if you have more actual diversity.
Yeah.
So, I think we have 5. Let's go. Okay. We have enough? So, let's get it. That's more like it. A little space at last. Breathe in that H2O. I don't know if you can breathe that, Pontis, but I'll take your word for it. What do we do here? The world is our oyster. So, an interesting thing that Pontis is talking about here is that he's basically hinting that new types of grass will grow here the more we build here.
Yeah.
So grass won't just grow by itself. You actually kind of need to develop the zone a little bit before you can reap those benefits.
Yeah, like life brings more life.
Exactly. So I'm going to do exactly what I said I was going to do earlier. And I'm going to build power first and then the storage coral right next to it.
I always forget to do it early.
Really?
Yeah, because I always try to get as many workers as possible, or as many water sprites as possible.
Yeah.
So I always do that first, and then I forget, like, oh no, that means actually my water parameters are going to go out. So then I need to adjust for that, and then around we go.
That's what I also tended to do. I just built like soil wells on top of all of these, but then my pH levels got bad.
Yeah.
So I always had to also place a bunch of alkaline corals. But the neat thing is that since these, I don't remember, do they increase or they decrease the pH? But the sprout coral actually increases it. So you kind of want to balance them. You don't want to put all of them in one zone. So here we go. Now we kind of have a kind of an outpost here, really. So we also have this like kind of rock mechanic. There's rocks on top of some resource nodes that we can move with 3 water sprites. So let's do that right away, just to get access to that.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. And I'm also going to do what you tend to do, which is get more water sprites, because that's always extremely nice to have.
Always want more buddies.
More buddies. Let's also build a sprout coral here just to keep up with the pH level. Yeah, that heat wave is still going. Oh!
But you're safe.
What happened? Oh, the game paused for me because the pH levels got bad. Because it built this. But this is going to finish immediately, so it's going to be okay. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
But that was nice of the game to pause for me, just so I kind of realized what was happening. Whereas I think my corals would have slowly started dying. I think pH levels are less punishing than temperature, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So I think since the pH level is like at the brink, I'm gonna actually research the alkaline. But I don't have biodiversity.
Need to get some more biodiversity.
So this zone is kind of barren. So why don't we get some clownfish up in here? Because you can actually use lures from different kinds of biomes in other kinds of biomes. And kind of the cool thing about lures is that depending on kind of the lure preference and where the lure's biome comes from, if you place like this biome is called a coastal biome. And if you make coastal lures and place them in coastal biomes, you have like increased chances of getting new kinds of fish. Like there's kind of a loot box system here, like a collection system, which kind of lets me talk about the collection book a little bit. We have this guidebook in case you get lost. It has a lot of information in it, but we also have this collection here, which will not only tell us all the statistics of our structures, but also the inspiration. Which is kind of my favorite part. So we can actually go to the growth coral here and we can see it's also called the open brain coral, just like you said.
Exactly.
Yeah. We can also see the wildlife here, although we've only discovered the clownfish. But you can see that in the future, you'll be able to lure many kinds of wildlife into your reef.
Yeah. Mystery wildlife.
So, oh yeah, we still need that biodiversity, don't we?
Still need some food.
Let's get them some food. And let's craft some... Oh, yeah, we got more sprite souls. Let's just queue those up as well. There we go.
Oh!
What's this? It's the whale event!
Yeah. Oh, you should speed down so we get the nice.
Oh, it's so pretty. I do really like this event. It's very serene and it doesn't really do much for you mechanically, but it's just like incredibly pretty and it's like a cool moment and everything.
Yeah, it's just wanted to add some of the magic of the ocean. It doesn't always have to be negative or inherently positive. It can just be like cool, chill part of the game.
Natural.
Natural.
Yes. All right. I think we are ready to go to give some more. I have whales in my zone though. Why don't I get more biodiversity for that? Gosh,
they don't
damn it.
live in your zone.
Oh, okay.
They're just visiting.
They're just visiting. Yes. Thank you. Come again. All right. The lures are over here, but where are the water sprites that want to carry them? Where do they all go? Oh, they're collecting. They're collecting things.
Busy.
There's a lot of grass in here. Let's get all of that.
That's a lot of clownfish.
It's a lot of clownfish. There we go. So you can actually click them here and also see the progress and how much you get.
Oh, there you go. There's a clownfish.
Where? There it is. Oh, it's so pretty. So, biodiversity, please? Oh, we did get some. Let's see. Let's get the alkaline. Or should we get the fish hollow?
I think maybe the fish hollow.
I agree. That's basically going to give us access to a new... Oh, that's apparently very critical. So the fish hollow basically allows us to have different kinds of fish other than clownfish, because an enemy is just going to house clownfish. And I also just realized we need more power for the data stream network. So this is
in a new energy network.
Yes, because this is cut off. It's not like connected to this one. This is the alpha current. And I got to actually make the system that makes the names of the zones and the names of the networks. And I had a really fun time making those. It's basically just taking kind of an adjective and a noun and mushing them together. And there's a lot of fun energy names and energy network names and zone names that you can encounter. Like this zone up here is the Desolate Estuary or the Frost Archipelago.
Ooh. I wonder what kind of biome that is.
Yes. That's for the future though. Seems we got some gray grass up in here. So this is gonna let us craft some gray. I keep accidentally clicking right click here.
Yeah, using a different mouse than you usually do.
Yeah. So it's gonna let us craft some graylers, large graylers, and some shiny graylers. The large and shiny one I don't think is available in the demo, but it's kind of a teaser for what's to come. So, I kind of want to craft her over here actually, but I need to remember to add more energy over here, because that was a problem.
And you can get more workers as well, more water sprites.
Oh yes, you're correct. But I think if I do that, I'm gonna go into bad pH levels again. So I think I need to balance it with this one before I do that. So yeah, you can see that they're pulling from this and placing it around here, which kind of gives them a little shortcut to building over here. But they also fly back here sometimes because, of course, they want to collect them here. which is why you want more water sprites, right? You want them to kind of be localized sometimes to this area and sometimes to this area, so they don't spend a lot of time swimming.
Yeah. And as you expand, there's a lot of different tasks to be done. So you need more water sprites to help you.
Yes. Right. Still need more energy in the beta stream network over here. But we did get this soul well, so we can just craft a few more sprite essence and the grailer.
Oh, yay!
So there's some common wildlife we can get over here. The reason it says common is because there's different types of rarity, but that's for later. So we have some percentage chances to get these and these, which I really like. So it's kind of inviting you to collect and discover a lot of different species, because it's not guaranteed that you get all of them in the same lure.
Exactly. It's a bit of randomness in nature.
Yeah. So we did complete Fish Hollow, but we can start on the alkaline one, because I wanted that. And let's see here. What was I about to? I was about to play some Fish Hollow. Create some house for the fish first. And we need probably a little more algae. And since I'm building so much, I might as well add a few more moon corals over here. Let's just cover all bases over here. There we go.
Oh, they're so cute.
They are. Okay. Oh, our growth of alkaline coral is done. So I'll just place that here now for peace of mind. Like, it's smart, right?
Yeah.
We explained that earlier, that it won't actually increase or decrease outside of the dangerous zones. It will just activate itself if it notices that it's getting bad in here. So we might as well also start with the acid one. Try to get everything.
I think maybe you can place some grailers now.
Yeah, I think so too. We have 2 over here. And we get between 10 and 12. And we have 2 houses that house 10 each. So I think we can place 2. But we might have some unhoused wildlife. But thankfully the game will warn us. There we go. There's some new kinds of wildlife over here. Let's see.
Oh, did we get some chromis?
Doesn't seem like we got some on the first one. This is kind of the lure complete panel where you can click and see what you got in your kind of loot table. Oh, I see a green chromis over here.
Yay!
I love the green chromis because that was one of the wildlife that I suggested we add, because I really wanted a shiny fish. We can actually check if we have unhoused wildlife in the zone housing panel over here. So here you can see like all the zones you own. Whoopsie. So we're looking at Cliff Lagoon here. We see we have 9 housed striped anselfish, 20 clownfish, 2 green chromis, 4 parrotfish, and 5 sleeper gobies. And none of them are unhoused because unhoused is just the fish icon, and I see 0 on all of them. So I think all of them are happy and housed.
Yeah. Having a good time.
Yes.
In the Cliff Lagoon.
Let's see. Let's place an acid coral too, because I think it also looks pretty. And then let's get some more sprites up in here. We have 12 biodiversity now, and I think that allows us to get an additional zone now, because that is kind of the quest we've been ignoring for a little bit, to just show you all the cool things. But it is this area over here. Let's see what's over here. Pontis is telling us that he's sensing something unusual about this zone. And we're very curious about what he means. And someone is trying to send him a message. Something greater perhaps, than Gaia. And it's telling Pontis that if we purchase this zone, we'll get a cool cinematic and then the demo will end.
What?
Whoa! What is a demo? What is a cinematic? Is it a type of seaweed? No idea.
If only it was. We could get more fish.
So this is the Forsaken Strait, which is a different kind of biome that you can kind of get a preview of over here. So if we purchase this zone, the demo will end as a greater power told Pontis. So should we do it?
I think we should do it.
All right. So we get just a brief preview here before we put in a narrative scene here. So Guy is just kind of thanking us for our current efforts.
Yeah.
Having a little swim in the cliff lagoon.
And this is kind of a spoiler in here as well, because there's buildings or structures here that you haven't seen before.
And wildlife.
Mm.
Ooh, how exciting, a lost reef. But we have to curb our excitement a little bit. Let's go over to the Forsaken Strait. What happened? That's up for us to discover. So that's kind of another teaser for the full game.
Yeah. Also, thanks for watching, I guess.
Yeah. Thanks for watching us play the game. We hope you'll check out the demo and give it a playthrough. There's also a way for you to give feedback.
Yeah, if you press F11, then you get up a form. You can give us feedback or report bugs or anything. And please join our Discord as well. We're there and we'd love to hear what you think or any suggestions as well.
Yeah.
We're super excited to hear what everyone thinks. And we hope that you have a great time under the sea.
Me too. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.